So let's talk about how the year's been and where it's heading. And joining me in the studio today is the Threadgold TV superstar, Mr. Tim Threadgold, who is a great mate of mine. We've been working together forever and does all the main auctions now. I never get a chance to do any. He's always doing them for me, or for himself, but anyway, that's another story. And of course, the studio manager, Leanne Kuss. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Anthony.
And Tim, nice to see you in the other chair for a change instead of, you know.
It feels unusual. Wrong, on the wrong side
Yeah,
of
I know.
it. Yeah.
And I noticed we've gone back, we normally have the Threadgold TV.
Yeah.
So let's get into it, guys. First of all, let's start with you, Leanne. The 2012, how have you found it from a marketing perspective? You are in charge of Toop&Toop, which is our marketing division. So perhaps you can explain to everyone what Toop&Toop does and how you found the year.
Absolutely. It's been a massive year for us. You know, we've got a team of guys, the advertising, it's a full advertising agency that we have on board. We have videographers, we have editors, photographers, designers, you name it. We've got, you know, a massive team that operates like an agency would, you know, for a major advertising agency across the board. So it's incredibly busy for us. We run the agency purely to service Toop&Toop clients. It's there to make all of our vendors' properties look amazing. That's what we do. One of the, you know, the things that we were most proud of during the year, we've actually won the Resale Marketing Award for 2012.
Yes.
Which is not an easy award to win, but really proud of our guys, and, you know, big thank you to you guys because you're awesome. But so really tough year, hard year. I think one of the things that we did, and Anthony, you led this, you know, charge 2 years ago, was video all. We produce our video for every single one of our properties. So you can imagine, you know, the work that goes into that. So it's a full sales partner on camera. There was an article that came out in the paper this week that some of the companies on the eastern seaboard are now saying that the take-up was about 5%, and they're now doing thousands a week. Now, we've been doing it for 2 years, but now, since June, every single Toop property is showcased using video, which we think is awesome, and clients are saying it. Not only that, but the figures to back it up, companies like DoubleClick, who are the Google ad agency, companies like Cisco, video traffic in 2010 was at about 10%. By 2013, which at the time we did this sounded miles away, 2013, video traffic is expected to be 90% of internet traffic. So it's amazing stats, and it proves that it's worked. We've had, you know, some great months, so it proves that video does work.
So not just video, what about Brad, the photographer? How's he fit into the scale of things?
Yeah, look, Brad's an awesome photographer. I hope he's not watching it because he'll think that he's way too fabulous, but he's an awesome photographer. You know, we were having discussions with the advertiser this week, and I'm going to say our photos are actually pretty awesome compared to the rest of the pack. So he does some beautiful shots. We've put a lot of technologies into night shoots. You would know, Tim, that night shoots make a property look awesome.
Yep.
Lighting, cameras, all of those sorts of things. Long days, Brad, because daylight savings, it's like night shoots don't happen until about 9 o'clock at night, so long days. But I think the power of what he does in showcasing those, we're putting some beautiful technologies together for next year too. So I know, you know, 2013, both the video and still photography. Still photography is not going anywhere. It showcases a property beautifully. So we're going to improve that even more because, unfortunately, all the hard work we put in, everyone else seems to jump on the back and copy it.
That's okay. That's what it's all about, leading the way. Now, just speaking about leading the way, under your leadership and in your area, we have several programmers. Perhaps you just explain some of the work you've been doing this year and then what's looking forward.
Absolutely. One of the big projects for this year was what we call Virtual Agent 2012. We've had a patented program to do that, but we've taken it to the next level. You know, technologies like we're all running around with at the moment allow us to do that, but our onboard programmers are producing world firsts. SmartRealEstate.tv is a channel that we've got on all the smart TVs. We're about to launch something amazing, so stay tuned, but I'm not telling you what that is for next year. Virtual Agent is a system where you go into an open and punch in someone's mobile and you get all of their details about what they've been looking for, what they're interested, helping the vendor and bringing the vendor and the buyer together. I mean, Tim can probably explain a little bit more about that, you know, the benefits of it, but our guys have worked on that technology, so you get instant feedback. If I say, you know, Anthony, what's your mobile number? Your name will pop up before, you know, 2 seconds. So that technology is pretty amazing to be able to do that in field, and we spent quite a bit of time. The programmers are also looking at doing some really exciting stuff for next year to, I think 2012 for me, one of the main design and IT converging. It's been one of the biggest things that's happened in the last 12 months. So, graphic designers with all their pretty pictures would sit over here, and IT nerds, if you like, would sit in the back room. That's really come together now, and it's allowed us to produce a lot better technology. So we can do things this year that we've never been able to do, and part of that is the continuation of virtual agent and a whole lot of stuff in the web space and app space and lots of exciting things.
Now, Leanne, that's great, but how does that compute, Tim, in the front, in the trenches? Auction results, stock turn, how does all of that stuff assist the client get a better result, or doesn't it? Or is it all just fun?
Well, it certainly makes it look like fun, but I think the really interesting thing is thinking about the communication factor, which it's always about for the client, for the buyer. This tool, if you like, suddenly makes it feel like for the owner of a property that they're standing at the open right alongside the salesperson. Within minutes of the open finishing, they've got an email of what's happened at their open, who's been involved coming through the property, what their comments were. Now that's all been around the place, but in an ad hoc fashion. But now it comes through, on your smartphone or on your iPad or on your computer within seconds, and that is just so cool from the client's point of view. I think the thing that we've had that probably people overlook for the last 15 years is this virtual agent database of people who are physically looking through properties on a daily basis, and we're keeping track of them. There's a lot of talk out there at the moment from other people about how many people they've got on their database and their ability to contact them. But for our point of view, we can contact them, we can prove that we can do all of that, and it's there on our iPad. We can demonstrate it in someone's home, in their living room, when we're about to list their property, and I reckon that's very cool.
Right. So Tim, I know what our stats are, but and they're like 40% lower time on market than the competitors in our 100 core suburbs. Have you found the technology actually assisting you, or have you been at Toops too long to really know the difference?
Look, I think the technology absolutely helps. You can't walk by the fact that you've got all of this in your hands, and the ability to contact the people who are important in that one transaction at your fingertips, I should say, is awesome. Pieces of paper floating around in your car or in a file or a sticky note somewhere get lost, but this stuff all stays together, and our results show that it's working. There's no question.
It means that a team can actually sell together, and it's a concept. We've got a mass amount of data in the business. Having been going for 27 years, we've got data everywhere, and we promised to deliver some of this stuff back in June. But it's a massive exercise to get your trust accounts and your vendor data and all of those things into something that you can get instantly and be accurate and be useful. That's been a massive undertaking, and I don't think many real estate agents have the capacity to do that because it's enormous.
Okay, so now 2013, essentially we're getting across the line pretty much right on Christmas Eve in terms of the data.
Yes.
Right. So what do you see for next year? Will it be a tougher year, or all of these, suddenly all of this stuff becomes important? Because in a boom, none of this kind of information, data really doesn't matter. Put an ad in the paper and it's done. What do you see happening now?
I see that next year, whether it's a tough market in terms of property, that will decide whether we're about to bounce up. I think the thing that will mark 2013 is the fight between online and press advertising. An hour ago we're having meetings saying what's happening next year, and everybody's really tightening up in terms of money, but is your property going to be better advertised online or in a press campaign? And the answer for us is to find that mix for the vendor, to get the right mix for the right vendor at the right price and at the right time.
So to actually think about the strategy. So Tim, you go and see a client, and typically would you have a discussion, you're just there, or do you actually factor in where the home is and who's likely to see it?
Look, I think you have to do all of that, but coming back to having access to buyers who are circulating and in the market at the moment will mean that those figures that we're quoting about time on market from our point of view are going to be a lot better, a lot stronger for the clients as we move into. I guess 2013, there's a lot of talk about where interest rates are going to go and all that sort of thing. I think it's going to be a great time for people who are buying to get out and get into the market, and they must be in our database, and we'll make sure that they get the information about their next property.
Sorry.
No, it's
I think
okay.
you can look at, if you're selling properties in a particular area, people will look for those properties, you know, go on realestate.com and search a suburb. But if you've got really premium prestige property, people don't always know that they're going to buy a $2 or $3 million home. It just, you know, so we need to be able to contact those. We might get a new property list, you might get a new listing. You know the people that are going to buy a $2 million home. They
Exactly
don't look
right.
on realestate.com.
Yep.
So we need to find a way, and that's what our data allows us to do.
Leanne and Tim, have a great Christmas.
Likewise.
Thank you.
And
Same.
for the whole year with the Toop TV stuff, thank you very much, and we'll be back next year with a lot more from you guys.
Look forward to it.
Okay, now let's go and look at some sold properties, and there's been some beauties with Going, Going, Gone.